this is sort of unprecedented for us. We've never done this before, so it's a learning experiment. The concept behind the Souk was to create a commerceless marketplace, to preserve the relationships that happen around haggling in old world marketplaces, but to do it without money involved. So what we have is a marketplace of human relationships, interactions, performance art, and expression, gifting. It's a wonderful twist on a marketplace.
We knew we wanted a big man. It just seemed time to actually put the man's feet back on the playa. So instead of a 40-foot man, this year we have a 105-foot man. Everybody wants to go out to the man base. It's sort of one thing you have to do in your Burning Man experience, but what do you do when you're out there? So we knew that we wanted the man to be on the ground and surrounded by a circle of play, a circle of interactivity. Everybody had to realign their games for this year. The DPW, the Department of Public Works, and the man-based team had to completely redesign the man and build something that's on an epic scale that really stretched the limits of their equipment and their ability. Even a few days ago, I wasn't really sure that this was going to work. We all had our fingers crossed, but everybody stepped up.
The regionals have been incredible about the idea of the Souk. It's amazing. We came up with this wonderful concept that really embraced the theme. It's something really different. We've asked the regionals to step out and engage in such a way that's never been done before. We really want the regionals to kind of bring their A game, bring who they are, and share all the wonderful things that help to make their region special. And what was better than actually creating a Souk? They can bring a little bit of mystery, magic, performance, games, intimacy, where each of them have been able to craft that idea and make it their own.
When we announced the project to the regional network this year, they were excited. Having the Souk project means not as much infrastructure as some other projects we've launched. For example, creating an effigy in the desert or a large-scale art installation requires labor, materials, sourcing of a lot of things that they can't bring in their backpack from Lithuania, for example. So having something that's really focused on person-to-person interaction with a low amount of infrastructural need, I think really took off with people.
I didn't know the definition of Souk. It's an East Indian marketplace. You've got Oriental people here, you've got people from other countries. We're a tribal group here, and we're a part of it. So that goes back to diversity again. Here on the playa, here in the United States, and in the world. The concept of Burning Man is bartering, not using money to purchase, and giving. That's been a practice for tribes, not only Pyramid Lake, for thousands of years. It's like paying forward, like what a lot of people say.
Getting the regions to come together in a closer space where we can really talk to each other, really spend time, and take care of each other, I think is a great idea. So it's an interesting step forward, especially because it's clear to participants that this really is, when they come in, this really represents the global network in a way that CORE didn't. There were so many different CORE sculptures out there that it was easy for people to walk in between them, walk through them, and not know that they were part of a larger concept. So in that respect, this is, I would say, a nice innovation.
I was really curious about the idea because I was thinking how you can, what can you get and what can you give, and so we didn't know how it's going to work. But finally, it's really worked perfectly. So we're giving books. People giving books to us, they're giving names, and people give their smiles and their energy. It's amazing. It's a kind of exchange, but in a different way. We don't need money here, we need just actually experience. And I met so many great people today.
It's pretty incredible, man. This was not what I was expecting. Typically the man has its own kind of gigantic isolated structure, and people are circling around the structure, but now they've kind of brought the community of the man into actual interactive spaces.
The thing that's wonderful is that we have 24 regional groups represented in the Souk, and there's also Native American tribal representation, which we love having them here. There's also a few artists, and Alari, aka Larry Harvey, even has a stall in there. So the whole thing in that particular case is about the storytelling, the engagement, the play.
Also, another project that we're extremely excited about is the Russian group. they're creating what they're calling the Russian Library Souk. Well, they'll have an entire library of Russian books, Russian literature, and they'll have people on hand to help with translations and acting things out.
My name is Margot, but today I'm Anna Karenina, which is one of the greatest characters from Russian literature. And so I'm here in the Souk, and I'm a librarian and a magician at the same time, because I'm giving a Russian play name to people, to burners.
This is the LA Souk burner wood, the LA Burners solution to Hollywood, and we're reshooting A Princess Bride, and it's the original script was provided by a friend of Rob Reiner's, and we're shooting it from beginning to end in chronological order. It's a marketplace without any commerce. Yeah, that's unheard of, right? So it's fine, you know, nobody's buying or selling anything, and it doesn't seem to have anything to do with what's happening here, which is just having the fun time of your life. You know? We haven't actually met the neighbors. We yell at them, like, be quiet, we're shooting, you know, things like that, like normal neighbor things.
We brought the old oracle Mimir, an old giant in Norse mythology. So we have his decapitated head in here, and we have an oracle interaction versus seeking answers, giving answers.
And so this is the game of chance and misfortune, and as you see, our camel is very giving. Just reach inside and he gives you a special treat. And there's games of cards and shuffleboard.
We'll let him represent us. Good job. I love it. The nut.
All right, so what we have here is called the Taiwan Temple Market. Its temples are really popular in Taiwan. Temples are also a really democratic space there, especially the Taoist ones. And it's kind of a communal thing. You don't have to dress a certain way or behave a certain way. And so we thought this is really beautiful, and it's kind of unique to Taiwan, where it's just thrived. They're everywhere. So Taiwanese love convenience. Convenient spiritual life and convenient everything you need. So we thought here at Burning Man, we don't need to buy anything, but our hearts have a lot of questions. We're dealing with a lot of issues. Maybe you just need to stop by really quickly, ask a question, and then let it go, and then you can enjoy the rest of your burn. So we thought we'll combine them and give people that convenience here too.
Yeah, we are Membranes of Marrakesh. We brought 100 drums to the playa. We're gifting 100 drums to the citizens of Black Rock City. We've got djembes, doumbeks, and ashikos. We have all the supplies. We hope to do 500 next year.
We wanted to make sure that we didn't put like ideas next to like ideas, because we wanted each to stand on their own. We wanted things that seemed like they really kind of work together. For instance, we're really focusing on bringing a lot of the Far East different souks together, because it's a beautiful blend of seeing the differences but the common thread. So as our participants kind of come up into the souk, it kind of opens their mind, expands their consciousness, and builds onto each idea as they go and travel through it.
When the placement was made, Japan, Taiwan, and China were all placed in this same pavilion, kind of a way that needed a little bit of adjusting. So ultimately, we ended up switching places with Japan, given the layout of the space, and it's been really quite nice. The calligraphy from the Japan side meshes well with the China side. What we're doing over here, quite interactive. It works with the entrance, and it gives, I think, for participants at Burning Man a chance to meet people from the whole region, larger region. And, you know.
This is Souk. This is a Russian library in very traditional Soviet style, I would say. And we are part of Burning Man family. We did the Burning Man party last year in Moscow. So we are part of this growing community of worldwide burners.
Yeah, I met lots of people from America, but it's also lots of people from Europe and from Russia. So it's amazing. Yeah, it's like a whole world.
Every burn is different, but this one is, for me, is far away from the first one when I was just overwhelmed. Now I'm very shy, but here it's a good opportunity for me to contact people, and I'm really happy.
we are literally creating a new pathway through reality, a cultural series of outposts. And my hope is that eventually there are no outposts, that the spaces between fill up, and it's just all the same marvelous, continuous experience. I mean, one can fantasize a little, can't we?
In the most basic form of what we're doing, one might say that we are a workspace with great atmosphere, great people, all the things you might need to do your work productively, and a great community feeling. On the more philosophical end of what we're doing, we are changing the way we're looking at a workspace, and together we're searching for the meaning of life, how to develop ourselves in other roles than our actual work role, the thing that gets us food on the table, if you might say that. So creating a community and a vibe and a feeling where projects like this can happen, with atmosphere similar to the co-creational thing here at Burning Man, an atmosphere where you can feel safe going to work, where you can share, you can be in grief at work, where you can share your emotions with your colleagues and the community, and at the same time we'll have the very much, corporate things kind of going on, startup scene, the social entrepreneurs coming in, bringing the whole range of artists, entrepreneurs, investors, community together.
This is my first burn. I came down with a bunch of friends, and today we all stood and got in line this morning to get into the lottery to build our own drums. They stamped us and they numbered us. There was about 150 people today, and 30 people got to come in and build drums, and I was one that got to be chosen. And so I came in today and got to choose my own drum and got to decorate it myself, and one of my friends didn't get picked, and so she sat down next to me and we kind of collaborated on it together, and this is what we came up with. And so it's not quite finished. I still have to stretch the goat skin and put the goat skin on top of it. But it's been a phenomenal experience. This marketplace, this currency-free marketplace that you have going here, impacts not only the merchant but also the customer, if you will, profoundly with the absence of money. The impact, the ability to work with the artisan and to craft something, I'll never forget it. I mean, I could go into a store and I could buy one, but the emotional significance would pale in comparison to what we have here. And so I'm thankful that I was fortunate enough to be drawn in the lottery. I'm thankful that this is here. I'm just thankful.
Now, what worked in the Souk that you're going to carry on into the future?
Well, we're doing another one this year, and it's a carnival-based theme. It's based on, not European carnival, but American, the disreputable article that we know so well. But essentially, we're going to use tents that face one another. We're going to have carnival rides. We'll have all of these things. And at the center, the man will be there at the center of a funhouse. And the center of it's going to feel sacred, and the big rind surrounding is going to feel about as profane as it gets, and full of uncertainty, and shocks, and illusions, and trickery. And they'll enter this courtyard at the center, and it'll read like a sacred space. And we'll have little like photo booths at a carnival or something. We'll figure out how to do it as we go along. And technology that will project the faces of all the participants on demand, so they crawl around it like a protoplasm. The man will be made of their faces. And at that point, they just have no defense against it. They'll look and, oh, you and me and me and him and together we, it'll be that immediate in your face, isn't it?